In today's Your Healthy Family, we're digging a little deeper into what's stressing many of us out these days, whether you believe in wearing a mask or not, if you think the government isn't doing enough about the pandemic or doing too much, should we be sheltering in place or just getting back to normal? We're all facing one common emotion. Dr. John Fleming, a board-certified psychiatrist in Colorado Springs, is keeping busy these days.
I'm seeing both more people having depression and anxiety, more calls for service, and I'm seeing those that I've been working with for some time have more intense symptoms that they're trying to manage.
The push and pull of the pandemic is creating so many challenges.
How do I put food on my table? Do I choose to send my kids to school? Do I choose to keep my kids at home? You can't tell who's got what. You can't tell how sick they'll be. You can't tell how much of a personal risk you have. Is it safe for me to be around my grandchildren? If my grandchildren lived here in town, would I be seeing them at the end of the driveway? Would I welcome them into my home? Would I not hug them?
No matter how you feel about any of the current issues, most of us can likely agree no one knows when things will get back to normal.
We can look at experts, but we all know that none of the experts, whether they're economy experts or public health experts, they all have a point of view, but we all know none of them have a crystal ball. We all know they're guessing. Now, not random guesses, but they're guessing based on what they know. And where does that leave us?
Yeah.
Uncertain. And uncertainty is really hard for us as human beings. Things are uncertain for many people economically, politically, socially. What are we supposed to do to protect our own health, to protect our children? We've got school thoughts. Everything is uncertain. There's no easy answers right now. This is a recipe for making any of us anxious, depressed, upset, angry.
And if those emotions are ignored or left to simmer,
it's worse if we don't acknowledge the uncertainty and the fear. If we're trying to avoid uncertainty, that's when we get into conflict. What makes people so angry, I think, is then a straw can come along and break the camel's back.
If you're having trouble facing your emotions right now, the first place to start is simply acknowledging them, if even just to yourself.
If I can say to myself, I really don't know, and nobody else really does know, then we have a common emotional bridge, even if we differ, to talk to each other. If you embrace that and say, I'm uncertain, you're uncertain, let's make the best of this we can. I'm scared if you do that, that'll impact me this way, etc. If you have that attitude, you're less likely to snap. If, on the other hand, you're spending all your time and energy saying, this one's right and that one's wrong, this one's scary and this one's safe, if we divide from each other, then when something happens, it's going to escalate very quickly. It'll be a snap, and then a blaze, and then a fire.
In our next story, Dr. Fleming will talk about specific things we can all do that may sound simple, but if we take the time and implement them in our lives, it can really bring a measure of peace. For Your Healthy Family, I'm Myra Croniff. More health stories, head to yourhealthyfamily.com.